What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today we're doing Screenrant is Gay. Technically, if you want to call it season 2 or part 23. I wanted to do a horror related one today, but I couldn't find one, so I decided I just typed in WWE and I found one that, of course, I knew that was gonna instantly be. I'm like, yeah, this is it. 10 attitude error that angles that WWE could not get away with showing today. Because there's a lot of these things that go around where people just, yes, the attitude error had its criticism. There's a lot of just bad booking decisions all around. Obviously some of the crash TV moments could be bad. I'm not one who harps on the women. I'm gonna keep it real. There are a lot of over women. This idea that just because there weren't in ring wise, yes, the women's division definitely needed work. I will agree with you there, but there was a fucking bunch of characters that were over, and not just because they're hot either. That's part of it, but they actually had character. Lita, Trish, Sable. Even Victoria a little bit. Granted, you can argue she's more ruthless aggression era, but China, obviously. I just think the idea, like, China was, granted, she didn't, big part of her career, she did not wrestle women. She was in, like, DX, having, because she was teaming up with Triple H. She was in angles with The Rock, Stone Cold. So this idea that it wasn't quote-unquote progressive, because maybe women weren't main eventing, and I can agree that, like I said, in ring wise, they could have used work, but this idea that it's just because we're in this weird universe, and I'm sorry, I'm not in this camp of the time. No, fuck going with the times in this case. We're in this bitch made generation, and unfortunately, it's kind of even happened in wrestling because I don't know. It's like, it's part of it. I talked about it on Pin Down Podcast, but the whole Carlito thing recently, where he made a joke, because Io's Japanese, he made a joke and said Chinese, and that's just because he's an aloof, kind of dumb character. That's what they're kind of going with him for now. And it's like people got offended at that. And it's like these same people, we want the attitude era back, and it's like, anyway, let's get into Screen Rant, because now I'm just kind of ranting about other things. Fucking Screen Rant. Oh my god, I can only imagine their wrestling takes. This is going to be a first, because I can only imagine their fucking wrestling takes. And their number 10 is already it's already like retarded, but we're already starting off grid. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, it's just like, we're already off to a good start, so we're going to get into that. Tomorrow I will be doing my Halloween Ends rewrite for tomorrow. So I'll be doing that probably the same time as I did the other videos tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Batman Mask of Phantasm. We're going to be doing the Mask of Phantasm. Then Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a movie called Possessed. I've never seen it. It's a movie I was recommended. So I'm going to check it out. Thursday, I'm doing a movie called Malignant. That's another one I was recommended. So I'll check it out. It came out a couple years ago. And I just never got around to seeing it. I remember people talking about it at the time. I just didn't get around to it. So, and then Friday, actually no, we're gonna switch that. I might do Malignant Friday because I just fucking realized Thursday is fucking Halloween and I want to do a horror related video. I know that is a horror movie, but I've decided I'm gonna do a list of my favorite Opening, either I'm gonna go with opening kill / opening scenes in a film. I'm debating. I haven't decided yet if it's gonna be top 5 or top 10. I'm leaning top 5 because I don't want to make it an uber long video. But maybe I might do a top 10. Fuck it, I don't know. We'll see if I can come up with 10. But we'll think about that. So I'll be doing that Thursday, and then Malignant I'll do Friday. So I fucking forgot Halloween was Thursday. I just kind of kicked in. But anyways, let's get into this video. Oh, subscribe to Pin Down Podcast. We just did a stream yesterday. Subscribe, and we'll be doing Dynamite reviews throughout the Dynamite, SmackDown reviews, and I think also this week, since Crown Jewel's on Saturday, we should be doing Crown Jewel predictions too. So like SmackDown review / Crown Jewel prediction Friday, more than likely. I don't think we're streaming Saturday because of the pay-per-view, but yeah. But anyways. So the number 10 is DX in blackface, which I had a feeling they mentioned this one, and then they mentioned when Goldust did blackface. And here's the thing. I'm going to say it. Blackface, yes, it was offensive, but to me, I just laugh at it now. Like, I laugh like, when you see those old racist kind of cartoons. I laugh at that shit. I don't know. I think harping on that, and Delos talked about it. A lot of the nation talked about it. They were okay with it. I remember learning about this when DX did a book back in when they reunited back in 2009. They talked about how the nation, they had a discussion, and they were cool with it. No one had a problem. It was never a fucking issue. It's only an issue now because this clown world where everything's offensive now. It was funny. The Croc is I've said it. This is my favorite segment of all time. I fucking laugh. I mean, obviously, objectively, it's probably not the best segment, but I find it fucking entertaining. I can fucking watch this segment all day. I mean, the original. I think when they did it the first time, I do love it when they did it again. When Triple H did it as the Croc, they kind of did it again when the Rock was in the corporation. But that segment's fucking hilarious. I don't care. Why are we so... And I think I always thought, and they mentioned how Peacock scrubbed it. It was I thought that was dumb too. It's guys, it was part of the time. It was a joke. Oh, man. And I'm going to be real with you. I don't really think most black people were offended. We all watched the segment at a lot of people at the time and probably did not give a shit. So I don't... Oh, of course, this is one that's brought up a lot. The whole bark like a dog segment, which it's a bad guy being a bad guy. And then there's going to be some fucking retarded fucks who are going to use, but what's going on with Vince in real life? So it's a bad guy doing a bad guy segment. Trish gets her comeuppance. Even Trish herself has said, she said it in the Vince doc. She got her comeuppance. She slapped Vince at WrestleMania 17. But I'd argue she got her comeuppance twice that year. Because if you remember, later that year, Vince had to kiss Rikishi's ass. If you remember that, Vince had to kiss Rikishi's ass. Bad guy got the comeuppance. Oftentimes, Vince would embarrass you, and then you could come up. And also, people act like he didn't embarrass male wrestlers. There was many times. Obviously not a wrestler, but JR, the stuff he did to him. And I'm not one who's because at the end of the day, Vince is a bad guy character. Maybe I'm a little lenient when it comes to villains doing bad guy things, but in my mind, you're a bad guy. Of course, you should be getting heat. Obviously, I think there's cheap heat, Like, if you just throw out a slur randomly, I do think that's cringe. Like, okay, come on, guys. You're better than just throwing out a random slur. But, like, Vince McMahon, the ways, I mean, look, the stuff he did with Zach Gowen, but he got revenge. Zach Gowen got his comeuppance. This idea, but it's bad because, that they even mention it. Viewer sensibilities were much different. No, people just weren't bitches in 2001. They knew, Vince was the bad guy, and he's gonna get his comeuppance later on, and he fucking did twice. And Trish was involved in both of them. She pretty much cost him the match, essentially, when she slapped Vince at 17. He pretty much lost to Shane not long after that, because that's when Linda got involved. And then, because she also pretty much chased off Stephanie, because she was beating up on Stephanie. And then later that year, she was involved in Vince having to kiss Rikishi's ass and get stink-faced. So this idea that, it's so cringe. This idea bad guys can't do bad guy things. Oh, this is one. Oh, I didn't even know they were going to use this one. This is fucking stupid. This is another example of a villain doing villain things. Stone Cold beating up Lita with the chair. And this is the segment where, if you don't know, this was when Stone Cold just turned heel after WrestleMania 17, which I'll be honest was a fucking mistake. If you want to ask me the worst, maybe I'll do a video on that, like the worst wrestling decisions ever. That is my number one. Number two is probably Goldberg turning heel in WCW. That was fucking shitty. But this is number one. I thought the idea was dumb. It did make sense. We're for years following Austin and this whole McMahon story, and for him to just join, it just didn't fit. It felt like a cheap, in the long run, it felt like a cheap throw. And I will say, the one positive was the segment. But I guess they're going to say, because a man beat up a woman. I think, and they tried him into a media frenzy, which is like, no, because you're retarded. It's a bad guy doing a bad guy thing. And, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to do things to get heat. And I thought that was a good way. And Matt Hardy kind of coming for the save. And they kind of do get their comeuppance. The Hardy boy, like Matt Hardy Jeff Hardy won the title. Austin got beat up by Taker not long after that. So this idea, like, once again, the bad guys do in a way get their comeuppance. Triple H was involved. Triple H eventually lost, because I think this is at the time he was Intercontinental Champion, also Tag Team Champion. Kane took that IC title from him not long after this. Bad guys got their comeuppance in some way. And Austin's heel turn, like I said, it was handled badly. It never should have happened, but whatever. This was still a great segment. JR's commentary. I just don't understand bad guys doing bad guy things. I just don't know why we can't have that now. I can only say Clown World so many times. And Screenrant, don't stay out of fucking wrestling. I didn't even know they talked about wrestling. Because I looked up WWE. I guess they talked like raw opinions. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not going to look at them. But part of me is like, kind of wonders, like, oh my god, I want to see what their fucking shitty opinion on wrestling is. Just Jesus, they have shitty opinions on other pop culture, so I can only imagine. I mean, we're seeing it here. This isn't their worst one, because I'm not like pissed off. This is just retarded. It wouldn't fly today. It's a lot of the basic shit that we've seen. Kurt Angle, oh my god, this is the worst one. Kurt Angle calls Kane and his fans the big retard. Fuck, stupid. There was a couple people who called Kane retarded back then. That was a thing. Because Kane was seen as stupid. But Kane also kicked Kurt Angle's ass not long after this. So bad guys can't say meaty words now. This is where we're at with these fucking idiots. Bad guys can't say meaty words now. It makes no fucking sense. Like, why would you, like, this is a random one. This is like a match, a good match. It was a decent little, TV match, but this isn't like a match that's referenced all of them. It's like just random. And and I'm sorry, I cringe when I see people say the R word and shit. Like, you just say retarded, dude, or say retard, because that is a medical term. Fucking okay, this is one I might agree with. Alcoholic Hawk, of the Road Warriors, seemingly attempt suicide. Like, this was bad. Hawk had a substance problem going on at the time. This wasn't a good idea. So this is one of the rare times I'll agree with Screenrant on something. This was probably not. They shouldn't have. Yeah, they shouldn't have did this whole storyline. This is one of those, like, Terry's miscarriage. I'm not going to defend this. This isn't going to be one I'm defending, because this is probably stupid. Because this was like some Jerry Springer shit. And ironically, this is around the time fucking retarded Vince Russo, was writing this shit. So it kind of all makes sense. But I'm not necessarily defending this, but this is just the Attitude Era. Chaz incest angle. I'm going to skip this one because I don't really know a lot about it. Oh, okay. China hooks. That was a joke at the time. I mean, Scary Movie even had a granny gag. That was a joke back then. But I guess because, I can already see it. Like, the alphabet community and stuff. It's a joke. God, that's all I can really say with some of these is a joke. There are some that, like, the Hawk one is like the only one I'm like, okay, that was, because that's some real life. He had real life substance issues, so that was like some real life shit that they try to infuse in the story. Of course, number 2, another example where and also I'm gonna really go into it before, and obviously the reason is because it's implied he raped her, kind of deal. But they don't they even mention it was a storyline. There was a ruse. They were both in on it. That was when Stephanie McMahon turned heel and joined up with Triple H, and that's when they became a couple in real life. Like, not long after that. And it's also realistic. This is a way to get him back to the title, because once he got with, not long after he got with Stephanie, he inevitably won the WWF title back at the time. But I guess they're hiding, because he had her drug. It was a whole fucking ruse. It was fake. There was no drugs. She fakes passed out, bro. Screen Rant. Fuck. Is there a brain up? There's not a brain up there? Fuck. It's called a storyline. Number 1, DX assaults. Oh my god! Once again, this is in the end. This was kind of all part of the ruse. Once again, that wasn't really Steph. There was no real assault. It was to get in Vince's head. This was the SmackDown when Triple H had Triple H and Vince. They were starting to set up their feud because in 1999, this was leading up to Survivor Series where Vince McMahon screwed over Triple H out of the WWE title, and Triple H was making it personal with Vince, and even before. I think this was during a title match. Yeah, okay, I'm remembering right. He was fighting Test for the WWE title, and Triple H was defending his belt. And DX did it to distract Test. And it wasn't even a real chick, because they revealed it, like, the next Raw, like, SmackDown, that it was a hooker they hired. And they even said that they fucked after. So, I think it was either Billy Gunn or fucking Road Dogg who made that joke. So, it was a ruse. And also, if you really think about it, it's also in the long game, because Stephanie and Triple H were doing, because this was leading up to Tess's wedding with, oh my god, man. It's called storytelling, Screenrant. Fucking A, man. It's not real. Like, y'all, like, fictional. I mean, not necessarily fictional people, because people are real, but the stories, fictional characters. Oh my god, man, it's just insane. Sorry if you heard that. There's some random street cats in my backyard. If you heard a hissing, that's what that was. But anyway, it's just insane to me. It's called being like, so a lot of these are, oh, they're offensive, and like a lot of it is, oh, they're bad guy doing bad guy things, like the the whole barking like a dog thing. People bring that up fucking all the time to try to, like, oh, this was offensive, and it's like, even Trish herself has said many times, like, what she knew was a story, like, and she got her comeuppance twice. So I don't understand. Like, Vince often got his comeuppance. Zach Gowen. The only one really was maybe, well, actually, no, kind of was Stephanie. Taker beat the shit out of him in the Buried Alive match in No Mercy. So Vince would, not No Mercy, Survivor Series, would get his comeuppance all the time. So it's called bad guy doing bad guy things, and the blackface one is just, I'm sorry, it's a funny fucking segment. Who cares? It was, I still watch it often. I don't know. People can't handle a joke, man. This is why comedy's dead. This is why a lot of things just are dumbed down, because we're not allowed to just have fun and make a joke. When Carlito can't even make a joke that, I mean, The Rock. I'm surprised they didn't even mention this one. The Rock Chinese joke, when this was a segment during when he ran over Austin, he made like Chinese noises basically, and I'm surprised they didn't mention that one. But like, yeah, like we can't have that now, because people are just so fucking bitch made now and just can't handle a joke. And unfortunately, it's even affected the wrestling aspect of it for a bit, and it sucks. And this is why we don't get as much funny shit. Sometimes you do still, but, you know, it's not, I will say this, WWE is good now, but I am saying, like, I'm not saying it has to be uber offensive, but the fact that Carlito can't make a joke like that, like, what are we doing? Anyways, and this is a retarded article, Screenrant. Stop talking about wrestling. You should stop talking about everything, because this is a lot of these aren't even offensive. Some of these are literally just heel does heel things. News at 11. It's like, fucking A. But anyways, tomorrow I'll be doing my Halloween Ends rewrite, which that's gonna be fun. And man, I'm really happy with what I got, what I did. It's Michael versus Jamie. The final face-off is gonna be, and I'm actually gonna deliver on it being a final face-off. And not just Jamie, it's gonna be like Allison, some of the town. Hawkins is gonna be part of it, because he was. Why was he even in Halloween Ends? He had such a no. Corey's gonna be in the movie, but I've literally repurposed his character to just, he is just Allison's boyfriend. He's just a normal dude that Allison's been dating for a while. That is it. So he's technically gonna be in the movie. He's just gonna be a normal guy though. He's not gonna be the villain. Michael is the big bad, and it's the same night. Actually, no Corey then, because it wouldn't even make sense. So no Corey, because it's gonna be the same night, and we'll be going more into it tomorrow. And yeah, but other than that, since I am talking about wrestling here, subscribe to Pin Down Podcast, where we will be doing our AEW Dynamite reviews, SmackDown reviews, streams. We'll talk about Raw there and stuff like that, you know. So subscribe there. And yeah, Screenrant is fucking retarded. So anyway, let's call it here. All right. Talk to y'all later.